All right, well, welcome to Altitude After Dark. We're doing it from a different location today, making some adjustments with the Avs and Nuggets going at the same time. So we're just doing things a pinch different. That's all. So we're getting to this a bit ahead of time, and Mike Sanford is on the road with Valor. So again, we're going to preview the Cowboys and let you know what to expect. We're brought to you by Journey Spice. We love you, Journey Spice. You can save yourself 10% just simply by going to Amazon.com and use the code GetSpicy. We're in the upper regions of Altitude Studios. So if you hear a variety of voices or different things, there's actually business going on downstairs, and perhaps I'm annoying. There's a distinct possibility of that happening. A live workspace. That's where we're at. Okay. Here we go. Let's start from the beginning here this week, and we start after the last game and what Sean Payton had to say about Russell Wilson.
Respect for that organization. I spent 4 of my early years there, coordinating Super Bowl, first game in this stadium before 9/11. Close with the Mayor Tisch family, and you know they found a little spark with that quarterback. I was talking to John Mayer not too long ago, and I said we were hoping that change would have happened long after our game.
Ha, ha, ha. What a joke. Well, Russell Wilson, classless but not surprised, didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 years later. Through the media, let's ride. Okay, so we all know that story, and here's what Sean Payton said to diffuse the situation.
And the euphoria, the way that game unfolded, that was strictly about Dart. I mean, and I that was in no way, shape, or form anything that was directed at Russ. So, and I might be able to see how he might perceive that, but coming off that win and watching how he played, that wasn't any intention at all.
John, did you have any thoughts?
Okay, I think we all get it. You don't like Russ. He doesn't like you. That's it, the end. We can all move on with our lives. But it was fun for a couple of days at least, right? Doesn't have any bearing on this game whatsoever, but just sort of shows where the headspace is at. Sean took a shot, even if he didn't even realize it. Russ took a direct shot. Sean claims he doesn't know what he's talking about, so we can consider it done. Let's move on. But before we do that, we have to thank our great friends at Journey Spice. You can save yourself 10% using the code GetSpicy at Amazon.com. We love you, Journey Spice. You're the absolute best. More on our friends Journey Spice in a little bit. Pat Surtain is 2 different guys, it appears. He is a captain of the team. He's an incredible player, and he's relatively boring when it comes to the media here in Denver. I'll give you an example. Here is Pat Surtain at the podium with the Denver media talking about Greenlaw's suspension.
Oh, I talked about it earlier. You know, we supported him as a team and as a unit. We know Dre's a great person overall. You know what I mean? He don't mean any harm. So we support him along this process. You know, it sucks to see him not here. You know what I mean? Because he has such a, infectious personality around the building. But, we uplifting him, keeping him in high spirits, So, we just going to keep on supporting him and wait for his return next week.
Okay. Pretty to the point and serious and whatever. Let's show you the real Pat Surtain on his podcast with Terry and Arnold called Closed on Sundays. This is who he really is.
Bruh. When I say I let his ass have it, dog. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna say what I said, but I had a strong choice of words now. I mean, he heard that shit. He heard that shit. I'm pretty sure his feelings still hurt.
Okay, so now you have a feeling of what the real vibe was with the Broncos on the sideline. Greenlaw's got to keep himself in check. It's not worth losing a game. Perhaps Brad Allen, the referee, has rabbit ears. Who knows? But you can't take the risk. They had an appeal and lost. So you don't have Dre Greenlaw, which sucks. And now let's go back to boring Pat Surtain about the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty efficient. I think they lead in the league in, all the passing numbers, all the passing charts. So, They got a balanced game as well too. They're very good in the run as well. So it's gonna be a pretty good challenge. We know what they bring to the table, so we just got to game plan the right way.
What's it gonna?
I don't know about you, but I'd rather hang out with this version of Pat Surtain.
Bruh. When I say I let his ass have it, dog. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna say what I said, but I had a strong choice of words now. I mean, he heard that shit. He heard that shit.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, you have multiple weapons. You have Pickens, CD Lamb. You have Jake Ferguson. You got Javonte Williams. I mean, you got all sorts of issues there. All sorts of issues. Sean Payton knows how tough they're going to be, them Cowboys.
I think very much so. They've got a lot of guys playing well at a high level, and especially when their receivers are all healthy, and they are. So they're doing a lot of things well, and it's a completely different team than the week before, and so the approach changes. And we're at work right now preparing.
They're trying to get ready for a team that you're not going to be able to come from behind on. You're just not. So the key, and this has been the vibe out there at Dove Valley the whole week, is how do you just start better? You obviously have the potential. You have the right play calling at certain times. You don't put up 33 points in a quarter if you can't execute and you don't have talent. That just doesn't happen. You come back in 3 straight games, you've won 4 in a row. It's all there, but how do you manifest it early?
I think it's a great question. I think sometimes there's the experience, the confidence gained after you get one, and yet we recognize that we've got to start faster and be more.
And more what? Efficient? Probably. Bo, you want to chime in?
I think it's stacking first downs and getting the first points on the board. We've continued to try to find ways to grow, learn. How can we get that to happen on the first drive? How can we go down and get points? How can we get a few first downs? There's one thing about putting openers together and having your plays, but, another to go execute them. So that's what we have to focus on. That's what we're looking forward to doing. I think everybody on offense has kind of that edge to them to where we're kind of, tired of being close. So I think everybody's working towards, making those first few possessions count.
Okay, well, let's hope that's the case. My idea is just to start with the ball in the first place. I know you defer most of the time. I don't argue too much about this, but I'd rather play with the lead. And if you don't have the ball to start, you may not have the lead against the Cowboys. And I think it's a poor team to come from behind on. The Cowboys differential, though, on the road and at home is different. It's much worse on the road. So they seem to be some sort of Jekyll and Hyde team. But the offensive potential, it's a 30-point team. It is. So if you can keep them to 27, you might have a shot. But you got to score 30 yourself. Cortland Sutton knows that.
It's one of those things we have been working towards figuring out what that issue is. I don't think it's a lack of effort. I don't think it's a lack of focus. I don't think it's a lack of care that comes from the offense. I just think that it's an execution thing and executing in the specific time that things need to be executed. And for some reason, we haven't been able to get that going in the beginning parts of the game. And we're working very diligently to get that fixed because we see that we're obviously capable of scoring points. It doesn't need to be in a lump sum at the very end of the game.
The likelihood of the Broncos coming from behind on this team is very slim. So let's just get started the right way, right away. Sean got testy with the media. We'll hear that in a second.
There's a world of flavor out there, and to find it, you have to take the journey. Journey Spice Company handcrafts the most premium spice and seasoning blends that have no sugar, no salt, are certified USDA organic, non-GMO, vegan-friendly, and always planet-friendly. You are going to love serving amazingly delicious creations while knowing you helped reduce single-use plastics. Make sure to search for Journey Spice Company on Amazon today.
Brandon and Rosa, thank you, Journey Spice. We love you, we love you, we love you. Save 10% using the code GetSpicy. It's down here. That's at Amazon.com. They are the best. In terms of things that tick off Sean Payton, the Denver Post went through some of the nerd analytics, and they found that the Broncos throw more screens than anybody. And in terms of the game against the Giants, there were 3 screens, 3 that went for 10 or more yards. I guess those would be big plays in terms of the screen game. Can you really call a screen play that goes for 6 yards a big play? So I present to you Screengate, with Sean Payton going back and forth, defensive about his play calling.
Go ahead.
When you look back at the screen game, especially early, it seemed a little bit touch and go. Is that
yeah, and then there were some big ones.
Yeah.
Did you see those?
Yep.
How many? How many big ones? No, how many big screens?
Maybe 2.
No,
3? No,
not enough. Go watch it. Obviously, there's some looks that we didn't block exactly how we wanted to, but we ended up with some big plays by Tyler, Ingram. Bidet had a couple, so I'm not on the screen count. Next question.
Do you have any?
Okay, so you can see what pisses Sean off, all right? He doesn't like to be questioned about play calling. He doesn't like to be questioned about how things are rolling out. But the fact of the matter is he was miserable after the win, and they've changed things significantly. He admitted they need to be more competitive earlier in the week.
I think it's more about the in-week prep. Today's practice was different. I won't get into the details, but, we have to find a way to make Wednesday like Sunday. And I think that that's part of it.
All right, well, there you go. That's part of it. That's Sean Payton. That's the way he motivates himself and gets it going. All right, next little confrontation that's fun. This is with our pal Troy Rank when we talk about how weird things are.
You respect Bill Parcells. He has that famous saying, "You are what your record says you are."
That's right.
Do you believe that at 5-2?
Yeah.
And so that's, even if it's weird, it's still you got.
What's weird?
To get to the way that ending, like not weird. I mean, it was
every game we play is weird.
Right.
Like the team that we just celebrated the other night, go back through their record.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah. Well, I'm saying it's unusual to have less points scored than your opponents and win a Super Bowl. It's weird. So
just to get to
there's no listen. We don't reflect back. We go forward, and that's how you have to approach it.
Well, welcome to the wonderful, weird world of the Denver Broncos, where every game is weird. I mean, at least there was a little bit of a laugh there. Can you tell that things are a little tense? Boy, you talk about a team that is definitely ready for a bye week, but that's not coming down for another 3 weeks. Woo! So how does this game going to go? What is this going to amount to? Don't forget the other thing that the Broncos really have a huge problem with, and that's penalties. Here is Sean, more or less calling everybody a dummy.
Yeah, so there's pre-snap. Then there's post-snap. Generally speaking, the post-snap would be behavior fouls. The pre-snap, all right, those are focus. And then during the snap, oftentimes it's technique.
So you're stupid. You're either stupid before, well, not stupid. You're either stupid or you suck. You're stupid before a penalty, pre-snap. That's just dumb. Confronting a referee like Greenlaw, that's cost you a game. That's kind of dumb. Or you're just not good enough and your technique sucks. So you got a dumb, inadequate team that's 5-2. How have they done it? How have they seriously done it? Bo Nick says, look in the mirror.
We looked in the mirror and seen all the different ways that we've hurt ourselves. We know we have a penalty problem. We know we have an execution problem at times. I wouldn't even say at all times, because then it's hard to score 33 points without executing in a quarter. So it's there. We just have to find the way to do it at all times and not lose our mental and physical focus. And it's just important that we start faster, and we just got to find a way to do it. And it's easier said than done. We just got to literally go out there and take the game at the beginning and not have to win it in the end.
Okay, well, that's a cliche, and I don't know how much attention we're paying to cliches. And Bo tends to start strong with statements, and then he just doesn't know how to land the plane, so he, comes up with some sort of silly cliche. But whatever gets you going, doesn't matter. I don't care as long as you're more effective. But if I'm looking for inspirational life advice, I'm not going over to Ferris Bueller. I'm going to go over to Cortland Sutton. Take a deep breath, light some incense, perhaps turn the lights down a little bit lower, and understand the meaning of life from Cortland Sutton.
It's, after the game, it's almost, you can put that into a life perspective. It's one day at a time, one play at a time, hitting the tree in the same spot, waking up day in and day out with the same consistent mindset that, this is going to be the day, this is going to be the day, this is going to be the day. Same thing with the play. This is going to be the play that's going to get us into position to go score points. And if you have that mindset, then, the outcome is going to be something that you are looking for.
Nobody's had more back and forth games and lead changes than the Dallas Cowboys in NFL history. Nobody through 7 games. That is a stat. Lead changes the most NFL history, Dallas Cowboys. I see a back and forth game. I see a game where the Cowboys slightly underperform on the road compared to home. And if the Broncos can at least stay at 0 and give away takeaway, if it's even, okay, they win 31-27. They figure it out. I don't think they can come from behind more than, I don't know. If it's a 1-score game, to me, that's not that big of a comeback, but okay. I'll give you that. If it's 24-27 with 5 minutes to go, I see the Broncos driving for a touchdown. Okay, it's another come from behind win, and the defense stops the Cowboys. We take a knee. We're on to Houston. We had the New York series, and now we're doing the Texas series. Okay, fine. I'll tell you this, though. So I'll predict 31-27 for a Broncos victory, but it's with a lot of hesitation, okay? And I'll tell you this. If the Broncos lose giveaway, takeaway, they lose the game. And if it's 2 or more, they're going to get humiliated. It'll be more than 3. It'll be 17 points. It'll be something like a 34-17 game for the Cowboys if the Cowboys are +2 and giveaway, takeaway, or more. And that's what the Cowboys have done this year. They make teams pay for their mistakes. And at the end of the day, you'd probably be better if you were just eating dinner by yourself.
Just kind of take myself out of that mindset, call home, go sit at a restaurant by myself and realize that, man, that's pretty enjoyable to do. After there's not too many situations. I tell people all the time. I mean, I used to see guys sitting at a bar by themselves, or just sitting by themselves eating and grabbing a little meal, and I'm like, man, I feel so bad for that guy. Like, you almost want to go join him. And now I realize, like, that dude was in heaven.
Joe Flacco, a mythic character. Thank you to Journey Spice. Thank you for watching. I got the Broncos winning 31-27. How about you? We'll talk all about it right here on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. We'll have full coverage on Sunday, both on Altitude TV, on the digital as well, obviously on Twitter. And here we go. We'll see how it fares. And this is Sean's last. He can go undefeated in October if he wins this game. Undefeated in October, which would be fantastic. So let's do it. Let's win the 5th in a row. And we're on to the Texans. Woo! Mike Sanford will join us on Sunday night around 8:30 or so as we recap this game and the rest of the week in the NFL. We wish him luck as he goes to Grand Junction to play a football team in high school. Why you have to go to Grand Junction to play a high school football game? I don't know. Thanks for watching Altitude.